Hello, it's Andro Koen back with another video. So today's one, I've got a pretty interesting topic I want to talk about. How I made my first million rand in profit by age, I believe it was 21, just like a minute before I made this video. I was like, when did I actually make my first million rand? I believe it was 21. So I was making like half a million rand by the age of 21, which is pretty insane. And also, I see people online making more money. It's like, I constantly feel so behind. And, people look at this and they're like, oh, this is insane. If it's just like, I just wish I could be there. But, obviously I'm extremely grateful for everything I've done. I've been able to travel to places like Dubai, Greece, Thailand. I even took my family to Thailand, like all expenses paid. I just hopped over to Bali, like straight after that, just like working from anywhere, signing clients overseas. So extremely grateful, but also, you only see like the highlight reel of everything, right? It's just like, the cool things. Being the top 0.001% of my age in my country is like, it's not easy. Like anything worthwhile is going to be extremely hard. If it's easy, it's not going to be worthwhile. It's like something you have to work towards. It's going to be, you're going to actually experience a lot of joy and gratification from actually achieving that, right? So I want to go back to how I actually made my first million in South Africa. And it's just the ultimate cheat code. It's like a GTA cheat code IRL, like in real life. If you can earn in dollars and live in South Africa, it's just like, bro, I'm currently here in Val It's the best estate in the world. It's the best estate in the world. And if you just go on Google and type in best estate in the world, like, after you're watching this video, for the watch time so more people can see it. You don't have to leave right now. But if you Google the best estate in the world, like this one comes up, and I'm staying here at the moment, I'm definitely gonna, stay here for the foreseeable future. Like I'm probably gonna raise my kids here. Like I'm just gonna, this is the place. It's the best estate in the world. It's in South Africa. And when I was talking about the GTA thing, like the GTA cheat code, it's when you are earning in dollars and living in South Africa, bro, it's like you've cracked the code. So anything you can possibly do to do that, like you should do anything in your power to accomplish that. And if you're watching this, you probably live in South Africa, because I titled this video like how I made my first million rand in South Africa, and mostly South Africans are gonna watch this, right? Like 90% of people. So if you can just earn in dollars, I'm telling you, bro, it's like it's insane. And even Times Magazine, they voted Cape Town. You can say Western Cape, same thing. Voted Cape Town the best city in the world. So essentially, Western Cape, Cape Town, same thing, okay? Best state in the world, essentially, in the best estate in the world, and you're earning in dollars. Bro, it's unreal. Like everyone in South Africa is talking about how amazing this country is. Like even with all the corrupt stuff and government, I don't really care about that. Like I'm not too invested in that. I don't care. I don't even know what's really going on there. I just know I'm living well. Things are good. Everything's cool. Okay, so how I essentially made my first million million rand profit by age 21. It's working with US people. If you haven't really noticed that, it's working with US people. Now, how people say, I've getting a lot of chats in the sauna with people. It's like older people usually, because in this estate usually it's older people staying here. And they're like, yo, what do you do? Or whatever. Usually in the sauna chats are amazing, I'm telling you. My go-to line is like, yo, so how long do you usually sit in here? That's like the golden opening line. I've been perfecting this opener for years now. I've been going to the sauna, for 3 years, 4 years, whatever. And it's just like the perfect line, okay? Because, and they say, oh, usually 20 minutes, how long you been sitting? Boom, boom, boom. That's how I do it. And then usually along the lines, they're like, oh, so what do you do? I'm like, okay. I've always kind of thought, I'm like, what do I actually say? It's like, oh, I own an SMMA. It's like, what on earth is that? So I usually say I do digital marketing for US clients. Like that's my go-to line, okay? And they're always like, how do you actually work with US clients? Like, how's that possible? Like, bro, you just email them. That's how I made my first close to 10 million rand online, is just by emailing them. Like, bro, I'm just like on my keyboard here. I'm like, yo, what is up? I've got the service. I email them. I email 1,000 emails. 100 reply. I get, 20 bookings, and out of those 20 bookings, I close 2-3 people, and I make $20,000-$30,000. That's how it works. It's pretty simple. But there's obviously, making money is simple but not easy. But also, it's hard. Okay, it's simple. Like, it's very simple. Like, you just email your offer to like thousands of people in your niche, right? And I'll go through all of this. Don't worry. I email them, like 5%, 5 to 10% of them reply, and out of those 5 to 10%, it's like 20, 30% or 50% of them, 20 to 50% book, and then I hop on a Zoom call with them. I explain the service, and then they buy at the end of the call. It's very simple, but it's hard setting everything up. Like, I heard this amazing quote from Morgan Housel. He wrote the book The Psychology of Money. He said, like, he said that quoting Warren Buffett is way easier than actually being Warren Buffett. It's like, anyone can quote this stuff. Anyone can say, oh, I'm a long-term investor. Oh, I can, do all these things. But actually doing it, it's so simple to say. It's like, oh, just do long-term investing in index funds, and over 20, 30 years, you'll be a multimillionaire. Very easy. Well, very simple, but not easy, because you have to go through the volatility of being a long-term investor. It's almost like a cop-out when you say that, because if you say, oh, I'm a long-term investor, you kind of cop out and say, okay, I'm not going to, deal with the short-term volatility of the market. It's up and down and up and down. And he gave this great example that said, if the stock market is down 50%, you right now in your clear state of thinking, you're like, oh, that's a perfect buying opportunity, right? Like, I'm just going to buy. If it's 50% cheaper, that's awesome. But it's the day after 9/11, the news is going crazy. Everyone is in panic. It's like the world is going to end. Then if you put yourself in that mindset, it's like, you're probably not going to buy. You're like, okay, the world's going to shit. I better, hold my money. So it's much easier to say these things than to actually do it. But back to how I actually made it happen. It took me 2,300, just to put into context, it took me 2,347 emails, personalized emails, every lead sourced manually. And by the way, you can get, the lead is basically an email that you get for, online. I went to all of their, so I work with, podcasts, infopreneurs, and creators. So those are that is my niche. Those are the people I serve. Those are the people's problems I solve. Okay. And the problem I solve is getting more exposure, getting more reach, views. I started this, 22 months ago, close to 2 years ago. And that's what I'm still doing since. And also now we are helping other people as well, in South Africa mostly, start their own agency. So this is how I made my money. It's like the best business model I would recommend. Obviously, that's why I started it. Like, I am in the trenches as well. Like, I'm also building my agency and scaling my agency. The goal by the end of this year is $100,000 a month. Let's say like 50% profit margin. So that's like R1 million a month in profit. Like, that's the goal. Okay, by the end of this year. I don't know if I'm gonna hit it. Maybe not. I don't really care. I just know I am. You wanna kind of set time-bound goals just for that short-term urgency, but you don't want to bank on that. Like, if I don't hit it at December, I'm a failure. I don't really care because, I know I'm going to hit it. I already know, sorry, I spat all over my microphone. But I don't care about these things. Like, the thing about goal setting, and also I've got a 2-hour module in our paid community on goal setting alone, just on goal setting. And the thing is, you want to set goals, you want to have these goals, because then it's something to work towards, okay? You can make milestones, all those things. But you also want to set an imaginary time-bound goal, attach time to it, because if you say, oh, I want to be a millionaire, it's like, bro, it's not, first off, it's not very specific. Second, it's like, there's no time urgency, So you kind of want to set that time, it's like by the end of this year type of thing, but you also don't want to bank on it, because, it might happen, it might not happen, and then you're going to feel like a failure and all these things, okay? So anyway, that's the goal. And also we've got a 20-hour free course that we made. It's it's free. It's literally free. You can put in your email, so you get added to our newsletter as well, where we post 2 valuable newsletters every single week. People love it. It's got a 50% open rate, which means, based on the industry average, is 20%. So that means more than, it's more than double, right? Which means when people see our name and our weekly email, they open it. 50% is quite a lot. It's very, very good. So that means people love the newsletters. They like to open it. They don't unsubscribe. We are growing 10% a month or something, which is very, very good. So yeah, you get added to that. It's just free value. If you can't go like through like for my section, for example, there's a health and a wealth section, because we believe health and wealth go together. If you got more energy, you're going to be more confident, you're going to make more money, more charismatic on the sales calls, all these things. Okay. It's like when you're jacked, it's like people just treat you better, all these things. Okay. It's pretty self-explanatory. Even Alex Moses says, if you're under 26, get jacked. Just do that. People are going to just treat you differently, more sales, more trust, all these things, because you are disciplined, you trust yourself, you take care of yourself, so you're going to take care of others, type of thing. Okay. So we believe those two go together. It's a bit more of a long-term play, right? It's to actually build your foundation. A lot of people just give you like all the strategies, just like, methods and stuff like that. But we would like to give you the fundamentals and the principles that never change. Okay. So you can check that out down below. It's Founders Acquisition. It's free. Just put in your email. I've got a 10-hour free course in there. And Quentin, my business partner, also has a 10-hour free biohacking health course in there. It's free. Okay. So if you can't, sit through that, all you need to pay is your attention. You don't even have to pay money. All you need to pay is your attention. If you can't do that, I'm sorry, but there's no hope. There's no hope. If you can't, I put 100 hours into this, 100 hours of focused effort. So just imagine this, every day, zero distractions. I put my phone in the other room, 4 hours, okay, of deep work every single day, just focused on this one thing, 4 hours. And I did that for 25 days straight, okay? That's essentially how much time I spent on this, and I gave it away for free for you to use. If you can't even go through that, people have been referring their friends to it, to us for free because it's just so good. They're just like, yo, just join. It's growing organically. So enough of that. You can check that out down below. And another thing I want to hop on is that, so we obviously have an agency, social media marketing agency, where we work with, and you can choose your own niche. Obviously, it comes down to, is it a growing industry? Do they have purchasing power? And, are you interested in that niche? Are you semi-passionate about it? I'm not necessarily passionate about agency. I'm very passionate about Founders Acquisition that we're building right now. Extremely passionate about that. So I wouldn't do $1 million worth of pain for that. For the agency, I won't necessarily do that because I'm not really passionate about helping, obviously I'm still going to solve the problems, because I'm passionate about the lifestyle it provides to me, but I'm not really passionate about, the type of people we work with, okay? Nothing wrong with that. It's just, it is what it is, okay? And with the info product, for example, extremely passionate about that because we are essentially helping our younger selves, 3-4 years ago. We are helping them, and I truly believe South Africans, is such an untapped market. I watched this video as well where, a lot of investors are putting their money into Africa and mostly South Africa, because it's a growing population. It's the only country that's growing by I don't know, some percentage a year or whatever. All the other countries are declining, population growth wise. It's consumer culture. I don't really know about the macroeconomics, but I just know investors are putting all their money into South Africa. Properties are massive here, or it's cheap, right? It's a good price essentially. So extremely bullish on South Africa, extremely. People love working with South Africans. One of the biggest, entrepreneurs, even Iman Gadji, I think 50% of his team is South Africans, massive successful entrepreneurs. We've had podcasts with these people, they've got 10 or more people from South Africa working for them, okay? Because very hardworking, disciplined people, they speak the English language, the accent isn't, what do you call it? It's not a hindrance, whatever you might think of this, from India, the accent, you can't always understand, no, nothing racist or whatever. It's just, it is what it is. South Africans, the accent is fine. Hardworking people, the time zones with the UK is good. In India, it's then it's midnight and then you have to talk to them. So it's just all these hassles. But South Africa, bro, it's unreal. It's unreal. Just people never talk bad about it. The only reason they talk bad, when people leave the country, the only reason they talk bad about this country is to justify them leaving. That's the only reason why. Okay. And I heard this from podcasts with I'm not sure what his name was, but it was on the PBD, Patrick Bet David podcast. But back to the tactics and how I actually made it happen. So I was reaching out to these people in the US, right? And I mentioned I worked with infopreneurs, creators, and podcasts. So infopreneurs are basically people selling online information. That could be a course, it could be a book, it could be a community, it could be like a digital service, mentorship, anything like that. And they have a presence online, YouTube. Mostly we work with YouTubers, and then that ties to my next point, creators. So like a Mr. Beast archetype, we don't work with Mr. Beast, but like we've worked with Mike Tyson before. He's like a creator in a sense. He's actually a boxer. It might seem like I'm calling Mike Tyson a creator, but you know what I mean. Like he's got stuff online, he's got interviews anyway. And then what was the other one? Podcasts. So also essentially a creator. And what we do is we just distribute the content across all platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and we just post hundreds of shorts a day, or short form content from their long form, which they basically have to do no extra work because they already formed the long form. So that's like the service I offer. There's hundreds of services you can offer in an agency, SMMA. There's hundreds of services. So yeah, I email them, and then out of the 2,347 emails, a bunch of them replied, and I essentially closed my first client for $2,500, which is roughly at the time was like 47,000 Rand or something. And the funny thing is, it's actually not funny, it's actually crazy. From signing that client, I think it was 16 days later, I made over 200,000 Rand. It was like $12,400. It's like 200 and something thousand Rand as like a 21-year-old. Crazy, okay? And what's even crazier, the next month I made $22,000. So that's like over 400,000. It was like 380,000 Rand or something, okay? And at the time it was like 70% profit margins. So how much is that? Like 250K profit or something? 250,000 Rand profit, just like straight on my bank account. And then the next month I made like $24,000, and then I made like $28,000, and then it's just been roughly around there, 20 to 30K, just like hovering around there. It's like we are kind of in a plateau at the moment. It's like 20 to 30K. It's like 400 to 500,000 Rand a month, roughly around there. And we're looking to scale to 100K by the end of this year. And 0 to 10, $100,000 a year. And $0 to $10,000 a month is like the hardest you'll ever work. The hardest. You'll never work harder. But from like, let's say 20 or 0 to 20 is like the hardest you'll ever work, okay? And then from there, you obviously have capital, so you can reinvest that into your team when it comes to service delivery, actually delivering the service, whether that's organic content, social media management, lead generation, Facebook ads, that kind of thing, like the actual service you offer. And then on your marketing team, you're someone sourcing the leads for you, because I had to do all of this myself. Okay, so I had to source the leads myself, which took like 2 hours, like an hour and a half a day, hour a day. Then I had to form personalized looms for every single lead I just sourced, which took like another 2 hours a day. And then I had to send those emails, late at night, because then it's like a good time for the US, because obviously I'm South Africa. So we are like 6 hours ahead. So I started like at 5 p.m. I started sending out all the emails. It took like 3 hours. And then I had to follow up with every single one of them. It took another 2 hours. So it was like working 16-hour days for 3 months or so. 16-hour days for 3 months. And, or actually, if you account like the mentorship I actually went through as well, it's like 16-hour days, 14 to 16-hour days for 6 months or so. And then, I made like 10K a month that next month, or like 12,400, and then, went like that. But, so 0 to 20 roughly is the hardest you'll ever work, period. Like it's hard, what's the word I'm looking for? Trudgeful? Is that the word? I don't think, something like that. It's just like drudging work. It's terrible. It's terrible. But you obviously make a lot of money, which is the upside, obviously. And you can't have the sunshine without a little rain. It's like you need the contrast. You need that. Okay. So you can't expect to get 0.01% of your country by not working hard and putting in some effort. Okay, it's like I want to set expectations straight here. It's extremely difficult, but there's nothing I would rather do. Like I just can't settle for mediocrity. Like I just can't do that. It's just that's not even in the picture. Before I went to college, right? I just despise that. It's like, no, like I'm just the same as everyone else. Like what is going on? I can't do this. Like it's just like disgusting for me. And that's how you kind of have to feel. You have to feel the sense of like, bro, this is not me. Like I can't do this. And then essentially after that, after year one of college, I'm like, fuck this. Like I'm just wasting my money or wasting my parents' money. They were paying. I'm grateful for that. I don't want to waste their money more. Okay. And then I basically started my own online business. There's some things I'm leaving out. Like in 2022, I worked with Iman Gadget as well. That was like, I was extremely lucky there. Awesome opportunity, like amazing opportunity. Was in like the Slack channel, all of that. I just saw all the money he's making, all the limiting beliefs I broke. Working with him, he made like $1 million in a weekend. It was like insane. And I saw the sales coming in on the Slack channel. I was like, bro, I was making $3,000 a month at that stage. The richest I've ever felt, making 10 times that or 100 times that or more. It's like, that's the richest I've ever felt, really. But yeah, I just like the feeling of making progress, okay? But what I did when I went 1 year into college, I'm like, bro, this is just not for me. I can't do this. I can't do this. I burned the boats. I dropped out. And that's what you need to do. I see a lot of people, obviously I do a lot of sales calls for my info product, people looking to join the mentorship and the consulting. And, they're still in college, dabbling in their foot here and there. It's like, bro, you need to go all in. I just mentioned how difficult this is. If you think, right, just think of this through. Ultimately you are still in competition with other people as well. Like you are still competing with others. Even when people say, oh, it's just, you are your only competition or something like that. It's like fair. It sounds cool, but like not really. You are competing with other people for their clients. Okay. And there's also some competition with yourself. So it's never really black and white. It's always gray. But where was I going with that? If you think that you can just like, put one foot into college or your 9 to 5 and do this as like a side hustle, get out of here. If you think you're going to do a side hustle and actually win and dominate in this game, you are just like completely delusional. You are kidding me. There's people who burn the bridges. You like go into debt and just focus on this one thing. And if they don't figure this out, they're going broke and they're going to sleep outside and be, homeless. Yeah. You think you're going to win against that guy who would put anything on the line, who would literally put everything on the line. You think you're going to win against him? It's impossible. So if you are just like, 9 to 5, I want to stay safe, and then college, and then, I'm going to do some waitering on the side for some cash, and then I'm going to do some outreach. You lost. It's game over. You're not going to win. It's impossible. You should just stop. Just trust me on this. I've seen too many people on sales calls. Like I've done like hundreds of calls with these people, and like I see the situation, and that's why I can relate to you so much, because I just know I was you as well, like a couple years ago in that exact situation. So you need to go all in. You need to. There's no other way. It's either you are built for this or not. Like that's all it really comes down to. Okay. It's Ty Lopez calls it the jungle. There's gonna be snakes, piranhas. Like it's tough, but you can't build a business and also do your 9 to 5 job and like have kids and stuff like that. It's like it's tough. It's still possible. It's 100% still possible. Elon Musk had kids young, richest guy in the world. It's still possible. He's obviously a bit of a freak, but you're just making it a bit hard on yourself. That's it. And it's already so hard. Okay. So another thing, I just want to give some tactical advice. You want to charge high ticket when it comes to, your retainers for your agency. Okay. There's a bunch of different pricing models like rev share. I wouldn't recommend that really. Retainer basis, pay on results, all these things. I would recommend just straight up retainer. That's probably the best. I've been doing that since starting and it's worked. So you have to also break this limiting belief where, you charging $1,000 a month. Like that's a lot, bro. Just for some context, we charge $10,000 a month for our services. Okay. Sorry, my nose itching. It's like 3.5K to 10K a month. Actually to 20K a month. No one has bought that offer yet, but we also have that offer. I think there's something in my nose, bro. But we have an offer from $3,500 a month all the way to $20,000 a month. No one has bought it 20K. I've pitched it like once or twice. People were actually keen, but then, decided to not go through, which is also fine. You're going to face that a lot. You're going to face tons of rejections. It took me 27 sales calls to land my first client, by the way. 27. Imagine like getting ready for your sales call, sweating. It's like, you need to now convince this guy on the other side of the call who you just met. It's like, and you haven't even done it for other clients ever. And you now convince this guy that, you should give me money. After 45 minutes, complete stranger, you just email the guy out of nowhere. He has no trust with you. That's why I highly recommend mentorship, because it just shortcuts that curve so much. You get the sales script, you get the sales tactics, you get the email script, you get the email systems, how to send emails, the follow-up systems, you get all of that. But if you have to do it on your own, you can 100% do it on your own. It's just going to take 3 years. And I don't want you to make $10,000 a month in 3 years, because most people can't wait that long just to make $10,000 a month, okay? Good money, but most people can't wait 3 years to make that. I want you to make it in 3 months. That's what I want you to do. In the next 3 months, make $10,000 a month over, the fourth month essentially. And I did it. It's possible. I've seen people make $10,000 a month in the first month, second month, third month. It's 100% possible. But also, I want you also to extend your timeline a bit. Even if it takes 12 months. Usually it takes around 3 to 6 months. That's where I see the sweet spot of people who work hard, put in the 16 hours, they get the mentorship, they get the systems, and they just execute. They choose the niche, they get the offer, boom. They just go all in. They don't have a job, they're nothing like that. They just focus all of their effort on that. Then it takes 3 to 6 months, okay? But even if it takes 12 months, you still went all in. It took you 12 months, to make $10,000 a month, which is, it's like, I'm not sure what country that is, but $30,000 a year is top 1% in the world. $30,000 a year, okay? It's top 1% in the world. So if you want to be in like the top 0.1% of the world, in 12 months, that's still a good trade, even if it takes 12 months, okay? So don't be too, discouraged if you don't make it in 6 months. It's like, bro, people have to study for 4 years, with their college degree. That's basically bullshit. Just wasted time and effort and potential and money. Just to be real with you, it's like you literally got ChatGPT. Like, are you insane? And then the college just can't. Oh my word, it's insane. I can actually talk for hours on this, where the university doesn't even allow the students to use ChatGPT. Like, bro, what is going on? It's like the university is kind of siloing their students. Here's the world. If you're watching this, it's like the world is out here, and university is like keeping the students safe. It's like in this bubble, and then they just throw you in the real world. You're like, good luck. Insane. And then you waste like hundreds of thousands of dollars. You waste 4 years of your prime time where you have no responsibilities, no kids, no mortgage to pay, none of that. Prime energy, you've got all this vigor and testosterone and just like will to make shit happen. And then they kind of just like make you docile and just like keep you in this bubble and don't expose you to the real world. That's why, people aren't getting jobs, degrees aren't working. I'm telling you right now, I don't have a degree and I can get the marketing job and you have the marketing degree. Fact. I'm not even kidding. I don't have a degree. I didn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a degree. I didn't spend 4 years studying marketing, okay? And I can get that marketing job above the guy who has the marketing degree. Fact. So what is going on? Like, you have to realize what's going on in this world. Like, university is just like, it can't keep up with technology. It can't. AI and stuff is advancing every single week. There's new changes. Every day almost, there's new changes. ChatGPT is improving every single month. There's a ChatGPT 5, ChatGPT 6, technology, social media, personal branding, like SMMA, like agency, making money online. All this stuff is adapting so quickly. And there's this quote from Charles Darwin, the evolutionary guy. He said that he's not the strongest or the smartest. The people with a high IQ in school, does not matter. Evolution does not care. It's the most adaptable to the environment to which they find themselves in. It's the most adaptable. It's not the smartest or the strongest. Strong, that's fine. It's not the smartest. who survives is the one who's the most adaptable to which the environment they find themselves in. And the environment at the moment is like technology, social media, content, business, online business, stuff like that, AI, ChatGPT, these things, okay? This is the environment you are currently finding yourselves in, and you are not adapting to the environment. And that is why, if you still go to college and study BCom, you are falling behind. If you're studying BCom marketing, it's like, maybe you didn't know, it's fine. Like, I'm not trying to, I'm trying to, I'm not bashing you. I'm just like, I've been through that as well. I just did 1 year and I just realized the bullshit that this was. It took me like a year too long. Okay. But I'm trying to save you of that. It's useless. I'm just, you're wasting your time and effort. Like, I'm trying to help you here. Okay. People are getting out of college and not getting jobs. All right. They just wasted 4 years and now they're in debt. And now they have to find a job. It's like, I can just see these things. I just study too much, bro. I studied, bro. I just study so much. I can see these things, okay? People, and then your parents say, right? Okay, no. First, get your degree so you have something to fall back on. Bullshit, okay? Get your degree so you can something to fall back on, It's like a safety thing, whatever. It's not safe, but anyway. And then just to please my parents, I'm going to finish my 4-year degree, okay? And then you get out of college and now you're like, okay, now I can finally start my online business. And then they're like, no, you got thousands, hundreds, tens of thousands of dollars in debt, okay? Get a job, And then like, oh shit, when am I gonna start my online business now? You get a job, and then you get a wife, and then the wife's like, yo, we need to get married, and then you buy a house, and then you got this mortgage to pay, and then you got a dog, and then you get kids, and then you're like, oh shit, where's my online business coming from? And that happens so much, so much. So I'm trying to save you of that, okay? Set yourself up quickly. And the best time is from like 18 to 24. Those 6 years is prime time. You've got so much energy. You're smart. You understand the social media game. But then people just wasted, drinking, partying, and just like, studying for something just to please their parents. And, I wanted to please my parents as well. That's why I dropped out and took them to Thailand. Okay? I wanted to please them. But they, your parents want the best for you, but they don't always know what's the best, especially with how things are changing so quickly, right? You need to know. You know this. You have this knowledge now, okay? And you have to tell them, all right? And you have to say like, yo, I know you want the best for me, but college is not the best for me. The best for me is actually, and entrepreneurship is not for everyone, by the way. I'm not responsible for the choices you make. You ultimately have to make the choice yourself, right? But if you have this entrepreneur spirit and this drive, and you're going to accomplish much, and you just despise mediocrity, you want to leave your small dent in the universe, okay? Like Steve Jobs said, you want to do that. A job's not going to do that, by the way. So you need to essentially drop out, okay? And then tell your parents like, yo, I'm going to go all in on this. I don't want to go to college. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just know I'm going to figure something out, okay? And that's the mindset you need to have. And then, a year later, I took them to Thailand. Literally exactly a year later from dropping out. Like exactly a year. Like, it was June of 2023, I dropped out. And June of 2024, I took them to Thailand. Exactly a year later. All expenses paid, everything. Okay, so it can happen quite quickly. But if you want some more help with this, I really just want to help people, because I just see how terrible this can be. You can join the free community, and in the free community, if you want to join our private community, which is ultimately more access to me, you get one-on-one mentorships with me and Quentin as well. He's as obsessed as I am with business and just like technology and how these things are changing, and you're just like learning and stuff like that. He's obsessed with biohacking and just like diet and all of this. And I've been extremely disciplined when it comes to my gym routine, getting sun exposure every single day. You can just see all the supplements, like right there, all the supplements. I'm like obsessed with that as well. Just like optimization, sauna, steak a day, eggs, just like, extremely healthy, conscious of that. And that has made me a lot of money in business as well. So you get a one-on-one mentorship from me, one-on-one mentorship from Quentin once a week. You get access to all of the modules in that community you join down below. You can join the free one, check that out, okay? See if this is for you. And then, you'll see there, if you go to example, the wealth section, because it's my YouTube video, you can just go to the wealth section and you'll see week 1, there's 6 weeks worth of content. Week 1 is free, okay? It's all free. And then week 2, you'll see there's a link where you can schedule a call with me. It's going to be me, okay, on the call. But obviously the paid community does require some investment to start, okay? So if you have no money and you're completely broke, that's what the free community is for, okay? The free community is to help you sign, your first client, or just make, a couple $1,000s online, all right? It's definitely possible. I've helped people do that with the free community, make like, extra 40,000 Rand a month, just like in a couple months. And it's been happening. It's going to happen a lot more. So once you've done that, then, you can join the paid community, which is, more access to all of the modules, group calls, events, dinners, just more exclusive access, helping you one-on-one to scale your agency and ultimately, take care of your parents, live a life of freedom, buy a dream car, live where you want to live, take care of your family, all of that. Okay. So yeah, I don't want this video to seem pessimistic, but I just want to be more realistic and tell you like what is actually going on. Okay. So the truth hurts sometimes, but like it's just the truth. Okay. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this one. Leave a like, comment, share with some people would find this helpful. And then yeah, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.